So Ubisoft still hasn't announced the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake, which they really probably should do by now because it's the worst kept secret on the internet. However, we do have this weird little breadcrumb trail. We have a resynced name popping up here and there, a PEGI listing that appeared and vanished, Insider Gaming of course coming back again, but this time claiming a March 2026 release window, some Steam backend activity, and then Ubisoft casually uploading a pile of Black Flag tracks like it's 2013 again. So either this could be the most obvious please stop asking us about this game coincidence, or Ubisoft is trying to do that thing where they pretend they're not holding a match while the haystack is already smoking. But in this video, let's break down what's real, what's reported, and what I think Ubisoft is actually planning. There are two rules to all of this though, number one being if it's not officially announced, it's not guaranteed, and number two is that I'll label speculation as speculation because we all know how much the internet loves turning maybes into yes mate, it's absolutely happening, I promise you, is space within the Assassin's Creed community. But let's jump into what is actually confirmed, and that is that the remakes are coming. Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot has said players can be excited about some remakes and specifically mentions revisiting and modernizing worlds from older Assassin's Creed games. Now that does not confirm Black Flag specifically, but it confirms the remake era isn't a fan hallucination. And then Ubisoft's financial slideshow from 2026 includes an unannounced title listed in the lineup. Now of course that's not officially the Black Flag remake being shouted at us by this information, but if it's real, it's a corporate shaped empty slot. And then Ubisoft uploaded a bunch of Black Flag tracks to the official music channel. Ubisoft's official account replied to it though, as it was done due to a technical issue on YouTube and they were just re-uploading something that's been on other platforms for years. So yes, the simplest explanation exists, but also Ubisoft, you are playing in a traffic with a honk at me sign with all of this information and stuff being put out there. Personally, I think it's hinting at something's coming. But then we have the newest leaks, of course the first one coming from Insider Gaming, who claim that the game is releasing before March 31st, 2026, and even claims a target of the week of March 23rd. GameSpot summarized that report the same way and notes Eurogamer corroboration is referenced in their write-up. And to corroborate that story, GameFile Stephen Tortello frames the early 2026 unannounced game as potentially Black Flag and says the remake's existence has been corroborated by their sources while not confirming the timing. That's the healthy posture, right? The existence is plausible and sourced, but the exact date is still foggy. And then a lot of this recent wave revolves around the alleged title Black Flag Resynced appearing in the wild, including domain chatter. Tech Radar references the resynced domain story as part of the modern rumor arc, and then of course on the PEGI website the official ratings board had it listed on there as Black Flag Resynced. The last time I checked though is that it's now showing as 0 results for the Black Flag Resynced game, which lines up with reports saying it briefly appeared before it got pulled away. And if previous leaks for previous Assassin's Creed games are anything to go by, once it's put on PEGI, it's pretty much confirmed to be happening and exist in the world. But of course, all of that stuff is technically confirmed with hints of speculation. But that's pretty much where this goes down a whole different rabbit hole with leaks and rumors. The big one being that it's going to be a more RPG heavy game with the modern day story cut from it. And of course, the AC community has split in half whilst discussing these little rumors. Insider Gaming relays claims attributed to J-Video magazine saying that the modern day segments would be cut to focus more on Edward's story and give him more content, and that the gameplay could lean more RPG-like, similar to Origins and newer entries. Tech Radar then covered it similar, reporting, framing it as reportedly ditching the modern day Abstergo office stuff. Now there is some important nuance to all of this. This is still a rumor. It's not official, but it's a specific rumor with a consistent shape across outlets. Personally, I'm okay with them getting rid of the modern day. We all knew this was going to be a thing because the modern day story throughout the Animus hub is built within that. The only thing I would say is that they need to improve that story. At the moment, it feels pointless, it's boring, we need the classic modern day back, and this resync, this remake is the perfect chance to do that in. As for the RPG-like combat, I'm not a fan of that, but I also don't want to be able to instantly one-hit chain kill someone, even though it looks really cool. Personally, give me something like Mirage's combat that has hints of classic Assassin's Creed mixed with the RPG stuff, both things people like. And if they were going to add some of the RPG abilities, do not make them godlike, make them grounded. For instance, let's say Edward wants to swipe someone off his feet, add that as an ability. If Edward halfway through combat wants to assassinate someone with his hidden blade, make that an ability. If he wants to slow time and use his guns, if you have 2 at the option, make that possible. Something similar in line with what Red Dead Redemption does with Deadeye. That would be insanely cool and something I would love to see in the game. But out and out RPG style combat, I definitely don't think Ubisoft would do that, especially since they know how many older fans will be coming back and playing the game. Then there was this Steam backend activity, which is, classic pre-announcement tremor. Games Radar points to ongoing behind the scenes updates on Steam and fans reading that as Ubisoft is gearing up for an announcement. But Steam updates alone can mean a lot of things. They tend to show up more when something is being prepared for pre-release or re-release, relisting, or new build pipeline sort of thing. But then there's also the lead voice actor for Edward, Matt Ryan, saying you might have to beat it again. Now, multiple outlets cite Edward Kenway's actor, implying to a fan that they may need to replay Black Flag with a can't say anything sort of vibe. Is this marketing? Is it a slip? Is it just a man enjoying chaos at a convention? We don't really know, but it's gasoline on a rumor fire. I will like to say though, a few weeks later at a different convention, he was speaking to a fan about this and he said that he couldn't say anything more because Ubisoft's lawyers were after him. So that kind of confirms what he was saying to be true, which sounds pretty exciting because if he is coming back to voice Edward, that means we could get the entire cast back, and I know a lot of fans will enjoy that and love to see it, especially if we're getting some new scenes, new stories, quests, that sort of thing. But what do I think? What do I speculate about all of this stuff? And if I'm being honest, if Insider Gaming's timing is even close, Ubisoft's plan could sort of look like this. They could have a short, controlled reveal window, right? If the target is late March 2026, the reveal window is pretty tight. That suggests a quick cinematic teaser, then a gameplay deep dive, then launch, not a year-long hype cycle. This is probably because Ubisoft's had enough of announce early, delay later scars, and I know a lot of us players have as well. The other option is that remake title could likely mean system modernization, not just prettier water. Black Flag's core fantasy is a 3-headed hydra with naval combat, pirate sandbox, and assassin fantasy. A modern remake that actually hits would probably modernize ship handling and combat feedback, improve stealth tools and AI activity, and allow for smoother traversal and animation blending. If Ubisoft get one of those wrong, it could come back to bite them in the ass. They know that, we know that, so let's just hope it turns out great. Now, the modern day being cut though could be about pacing, not lore hate, although I hate the lore with the modern day from Black Flag. The Abstergo office sections were weird and a bit boring, but they always interrupted the pirate rhythm. If Ubisoft is chasing mainstream momentum, they might want a cleaner, always in the Animus sort of flow. Here's the risk at this though, because Black Flag is beloved partly because it still felt like old AC DNA. If you cut too much and you get a pirate RPG featuring assassin branding, it could be too much with less assassin, more pirate RPG. And talking about RPG, when the leaks say RPG heavy, it could just mean loot tiers, stats, crafting loops, build variety, not necessarily a 120-hour map icon marathon. Ubisoft could aim for best of both worlds, as we mentioned with the Mirage combat, but they could have the classic structure with modern customization. Personally, I am not a fan of that. Do not give us loot tiers, do not give us stats, do not give us any of that Odyssey, Valhalla, Origins sort of RPG stuff. Keep it all the same as it's been in Black Flag. Make us go out there and hunt whales, ocelots, iguanas, that sort of thing to get better weapons, to get better gear, to get different costumes, like it was in the main game. That way, it brings us back to the classic AC feeling, whilst having something fresh in the world. That would be a lot cooler for me than these loot tier, gear boxes, bullshit sort of thing. But to boil it down into one pot, where are we at right now? So we're at where Ubisoft has said remakes are coming. Ubisoft has an unannounced title sitting in its slate. Insider Gaming claims the Black Flag remake is that title, aiming before March 31st, 2026, possibly the week of March 23rd. The resynced naming, Peggy Blip, domain shatter, Steam activity, and the soundtrack uploads are all adding static to that signal. And the big debate, RPG lean and modern day cuts, still a rumor, but somewhat consistently echoed. But I want to hear from you guys. Would you want a Black Flag remake that sticks to the classic design, or do you want Ubisoft to go full modern day RPG but pirate flavored? Personally, I want the classic design. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like would be greatly appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe for some more Assassin's Creed content. content. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video.